Okay, what's up, y'all? This is Nate. I'm back playing a little bit more historic ranked, and I'm not even sure what deck I'm gonna get into today. I didn't put up any of the polls or anything like that, so let's just get in and look at some of the options, and might talk a little bit about some of the spoilers that's come out. Not really hyped on the new Jays. There's been some pretty sick stuff that's been released today. The six drop red guy, I'm not even sure what his name was or even what he did necessarily. I think he gives like extra combat steps. That sounds atrocious. Um, but yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff. I don't know what to think about the land cycle. Right now, I don't like it, but I'm probably wrong. It's a Mark Rosewater thing, so hey, Um, anyway, let's talk some historic. So I've updated the Azorus list for control, and this deck is my baby. If anybody that knows me knows that, at least, um, at least this deck style. Really love the warrant here. I see where it's started to sneak into some Pioneer lists that are topping, and you don't even need it in Pioneer because Azorus Charm is just a better version of that. Sphinx Rev has been really cool to play. Narset fits really well into this build particular. Um, Last time I tried to do that on camera, I got locked up in a really crazy matchup that, I mean, even for me, and I love Control V Control, it was super boring. Like it was just so super boring. So let's look at some of our other options here. I just recently put together a few more decks. I put together a cycling deck with a little Jet Sky flavor because one, I think having Sensor in here makes it worth it just to possibly have a counter spell if you're not just dumping your whole hand, and if not, it still let you do your cycle. And for the cycling lands too, and I don't even really play this deck, so who knows? Um, I'm not really into the cycling deck either, but I have it, so I put it together. We got historic Esper, and I really wanted to do some things with the old Scarab God here. I may go to a 2 and trim that down to a 1. This deck is really leaning on how well Drown in the Lock is going to be turned on as a counter spell. Because we definitely have the removal, we need it to be a counter spell. I'm hoping with the removal and the Thought Seize and everything that it could probably do it, but I haven't even tested this out yet, so who knows. We got Grixis Bolus, using the Bolus Dragon God. Got a Scarab God in there too. One of the new lilies, she plays pretty well in this, and again, we're leaning on Drown in the Lock to be really good. Frantic Inventory, these are some newer additions that I've put into this. I'm not totally sure how this will play, but as you see, we're doing very little of the red. Very little actual red spells, so that's why oh, I accidentally kicked my cat. Sorry, little buddy. You want out? Hold on, guys. There you go, fella. There you go. So yeah, we're not leaning on needing the red very much, and actually I've added, looks like more red than it even really needs. I've trimmed back on some of the extra boluses that I was even playing, so we may even tail this back a little bit. These sulfur falls probably aren't really necessary, or maybe we could just do it like this, and let's add one of these and even pull back here, because really we just need a lot of black sources, really, and a little bit of red. This is mostly a Dimir deck, mostly Dimir. I just made an adjustment to the burn that's been this Flame of the Keld, and dropping one land has actually been making this thing flow really well. Made an adjustment to to the Golgari, brought in a Draina and 3 of the Grim Dancers. And man, this card is a house. So I think that may be able to be making the difference in that deck as well. So I still don't know where I'm going to be. Sultai is kind of all the rage right now, so that makes me kind of want to stay away from it. You know what? Let's go Esper. Let's go Esper. I'm going to play a little Esper control today, guys. Now, this is my first dance with it, so let's see how she works out. I've really been looking forward to this. I like Esper for the hand disruption and the premium removal that you get with black that you wouldn't have, like, say, with UW. A lot of people are like, man, Sultai is just so quality, so flexible right now, you got to play it. And they would be right. They would be right. This is mana heavy. We don't know how good Drown in the Loch is going to be, and Dovin's Veto this early is sometimes a super hit and sometimes it's not great, but I like the Frantic. I'm going to mulligan. And I'm not so sure that I like the mulligan decision, but we're going to go with it. We're going to throw this in tabbed. Yuck. What kind of sleeves are these? Oh, that's kind of sweet. We got Scarab God. Alright, so the reason why I'm not just killing the champ right off the gate is for this exact reason. I want to see if they put out something that I would rather kill. Some of these things may be basic Magic 101 ideals, but I'm just trying to be really open with my decisions, why I'm making them, and for me, when I was trying to learn, something like that would have been really helpful. We really can't do anything now. We're hoping for another white source so we can board wipe. They're running low on cards. We don't know if they're going to get a little better. Okay, boom. Drown in the Loch testing time, too. That's going to be pretty strong right here. So, we can kill the runaway Steamkin. Or we could counter this Steamkin. I think we're just gonna kill this one because it's the immediate threat right now. We don't know how soon we are gonna get a white spell. I would have just let it resolve if I had another white source to be able to know I'm gonna Wrath this next turn. Still don't get our source that we need. So we'll throw this in tap because we can't take unnecessary damage right now either. This would be an awful matchup. I mean, this is the scissors that cuts paper, really. And right about now, we're looking at white source or death. Oof. Do we die this turn? I don't think so. Like, I'm not just mathing like that right now. And we might as well despark to take away that extra damage. So we do have to get a Wrath. We need a white source here or we die. We don't get a white source here. Looks like we may have another turn. And this Eat to Extinction may be the ticket to help us get there. Okay. So we're going to hit the Robber. And that's going to have to go to the yard. My Serval puts all the cards in the yard. And my Delve is better than yours. Okay, so I'm just going to follow my sword here. Terrible matchup. Okay. Like I said, awful matchup. Maybe we can get something better here on this one. Better hand would make a big difference too. If some of you guys have seen some of my older videos, you may have noticed that I deleted a ton of my decks. And with the upcoming rotation, pretty much just the UW control, which is my go-to jam, is the only standard deck that I left up. It's going to be crazy after rotation. I'm glad they're taking a little while on their mulligan decision. This has so many of the things that I want. Not big on the Scarab God in the opening hand, but I do like having one of my wraths as like kind of a safety net, but I don't see any guarantees that we're going to play it. But we do have some early disruption, and we have some card selection. I think putting it back gives us a way better chance at having more game overall. But I think this is halfway workable, just because of this early stuff and the opt as well. At this point, this is one of those crazy situations where I almost wonder if it's taken so long because it's me. It looks like no, it wasn't. I think the right play is to mulligan this. Man, I don't think it was. I don't think it was. But I just didn't like that just double Demir land. We're gonna throw this back, and I'll put away the Fabled. And our turn 1, we are going to be going to 16 without question. Hopefully the time that's taken them to do their thing has a lot to do with them not liking what they got going on either. So let's take a look at their hand and see if they got some fire. Yeah, this is not a great hand against me. So it looks like we do have some time. That's awesome. And that turn 1 Thoughtseize, like so many times that it can be, was pretty much fire. So yeah, hitting that arena, that's so big against us because they can try to keep up with the card advantage. And we can counter this. Boom. Drown in the lock. Yeah, why not? Might as well put in a tap land. We'll look at the hand again. We'll take a Heartless Act, even though it doesn't matter. And we might be able to cruise into Arteferi and just kind of wrap this up and get an early scoop. I'll take 2 here just to front something and opt at the end of turn. They're not casting anything anyway. Looks like they're going to try and get a draw from the castle. That's smart. They got 5 cards though, and that's no joke. Here we go. Grim Dancer. And this is what I like about Esper. Whereas Just Azorius is kind of more of a finessey approach, where this I'll wait for him to attack and then bounce it back to his top of his deck or something. But here, you drop it, end of turn, I'm just going to kill the thing. Bop! I'm just going to kill the thing. Like, I'm just not playing around. I don't think that they have any Planeswalker removal right now necessarily either, though black is packing it. but they just don't have very many cards, period. We're gonna drop this Frantic. I mean, okay. See, and now we're in business, because anything 4-drop or under, we can either counter or blow up with this thing. And that's a pretty good rate, man. Like, that's a really good rate. Knight of the Ebon Legion. We're going to let him drop it and see if he'll play into the Wrath of God. Or they, rather. I feel like I do want to counter this. But I'm not, and I'm just going to Wrath. Because I don't think that they really have anything else going for them at all. Yeah, and now I can Wrath and hold up Drown in the Lock. And they essentially only have 2 cards. I'm going to counter this. So at this point, we're looking pretty close to having a lock. We gotta hope we draw a counter here.
This isn't a fight.
Big T, bring me home. Thoughtseize. Okay. Merch. This doesn't really even matter. Alright, so Heartless Hack means nothing. They drew land. That's awesome. We drew land. That's not awesome. We're going to draw a card, which hopefully is awesome. That's not awesome. So now it looks like we're in a top decking land draw war. Who top decks something of significance? More likely gonna be me, because I get to scry too. But he can draw off of that castle. Okay, so I'll take this Drown. Drown in the Lock is big time right now. And a 2 mana do whatever it wants to do is pretty vicious. Honestly.
Let's get to the good part.
I mean, if this thing is always this consistent, I'm just going to bluff this as a spell, too. I think it has more value in my hand right now with all these lands I got out there. Now, he's gaining some card advantage here. Or they, rather. Force a habit. Little Thought Squeeze. That's nice. That's nice for them. And yes, I said Thought Squeeze on purpose. So it's really, is this card worth anything? That's just a little single gray merge. Not really worried about that. Yep. Yeah, we'll even counter it. Drown in the Lock. All-Star Champagne, baby.
Hold that thought.
That's horrible. I'm absolutely bluffing every bit of that as spells. Yeah, drop it. I don't care. He is getting me low, though. Let me see something. Eliminate really isn't doing anything, and I really don't want to Thoughtseize right now, because I know what he's got, and it doesn't affect me any. Whoa. Okay. So, I'm not just going to do this off the cuff.
We need to move quickly.
I'm not going to just ultimate him. But I am going to go ahead and drop old Scarab. I have mana to do his thing, which is cool. I guess it can get Heartless acted. We will untap these two. That's pretty sick. Now, I have an obliterator, and I'm that's really, really sick. Man, that's really sick.
With each turn of the clock, your reality will crumble.
And I tell you what, I'm liking this. That obliterator is pretty sweet, but I'm just gonna exile him.
We will meet again.
And
Hold that thought.
go ahead and get this. They're just not scooping on purpose at this point, I would think. Yeah, there we go. So that went very well, but it's also a good matchup. They're doing more mid-rangey things. They started off very slow. But it was my first experience with the Scarab God. I haven't played him very much before, but man, I'll have to admit, that guy is fun. That guy is a lot of fun. Drown in the Lock was seriously good. So, it looks like so far so good, even when things looked awful, but things were going awful for our opponent. I'd like to see us in like a really tough matchup. This is interesting. I don't know too much about, like, we gotta have this white source. But Thoughtseize turn 1 is pretty nice. And we get a shot at the Narset too on turn 3. Especially if we've drawn some land. Narset can be awkward if you don't have your land drops. If you're missing land drops, you don't want to play the Narset. That's a good draw on turn 1. Alright, so, and they're down to 4 cards. So, let's take this Mayhem Devil. They're playing that nonsense. So, we gotta win by strategy against a deck that, excuse me, is linear and it totally ignores strategy. That's what we're doing. But it looks like we are hitting our land drops, even though we don't have the white source. And they're really low on cards. I'd almost like to front counter mana here and use this Opt. But they're not attacking us in any way at all. So,
there are so many mysteries to uncover.
And I don't think that they're going to attack as much either, because they have a land in hand and one card. Okay, so we're going to take a Frantic. And a Frantic with an Opt is such a good combination. Such a good combination. can't really do anything else, so we'll at least just go here. They're still not pressing us. So even though this isn't the most lovely position, that's a great draw, even though we don't have our white source. So we definitely need to get that, but we have a frantic and op to be able to find it while they're not really doing anything. We're definitely going to drop that land here. Oh, Blood Artist? Okay, so you opt first to get to look at that first card. That way you're just going a little deeper. We don't want this Drowned Catacomb. A land isn't totally awful here, but it has to be a white source. That's okay. And we'll just kind of let them open up the floodgates. Ah, man. That's a great draw, too. They're creating a lot of food. It's a pretty live Drown in the Loch. So here, I'm gonna do the bounce.
Listen to your pain. It whispers.
I don't think that they're gonna sack him. You don't sack the Blood Artist, especially when you can replay him. If they do that, I think it's just better for us anyway. Otherwise, yeah, I want them to get rid of a card. And it's probably going to be this land that they've just been neglecting to play. Yeah. But now they got to... Okay, so now you get a card. Pull a land, drop a Blood Artist. Still holding that thing. Okay. Jeez. So, Arena doing what Arena do. Good.
All your fears are given for.
And we're gonna... What? Really? Oh, man. That's surprising. Okay. And I can counter it. Wow. Drown in the Loch has been surprisingly good. Are you going to sack anything? You're just going to gain life? Okay. Yeah, we're cruising here. We are definitely down mana on what we want our mana to be. We're working a little handicapped, but they have nothing going on. The hand disruption was really able to do major work here. Really able to do major work. And that has been the common theme of the last two games, where they started off a little handicapped and you just don't have space to be half-stepping, is what it comes down to. When there is that early turn 1 Thoughtseize. It's probably the strongest turn 1 in Historic. It's definitely the strongest in Pioneer, so I'm sure it is the strongest in Historic. I mean, you may be wrong if you're playing a deck that doesn't play Thoughtseize on turn 1. You get access to all kinds of premium removal as well. But I'm just a lover of playing black, really. I love playing black for those reasons, for the removal and such. And I love hand disruption, and even more so the information. Knowing that they were just holding those Heartless Acts that whole game in the last game was so big for me to just have the confidence to just throw whatever out there. Yeah, let's roll with it. Drown in the Lock has been an all-star even when you didn't think it was going to be. And Frantic will give us an extra draw. So let's do this. Oh, okay. We'll start with that one. So we'll go ahead and get our white source out of the way, because it looks like we will need it. Oh, we got Rakdos going on. We might be able to hit a non-creature spell right here. No, we will not. Well, maybe. It's still possible. Oh. Oh, that hurts. I'm going to take an L on this one. Let's pitch the castle. I'm going to draw here. So to go against the theme, we are going to have our Wrath, though. To go against the theme of the last couple games, Drown in the Lock is not looking so great because we can't get anything in the yard. And we did not have the early hand disruption. Taking a beating early. Can't do anything about any of this, but what we can do is grab this white source right here, and we can kill all things. Now they get a free turn. And they're gonna get a couple jabs in too, 3 of them, and they're gonna get a free turn to drop whatever they want. They don't have the extra red to be able to do oh boy, which they're looking for. That's not totally awful for us because we can just kill it. I'm going to use the eliminate to kill it as well. Oh, I cannot use the eliminate. So let's just use the Drown in the Lock. We got counter magic for whatever. Ah, man. Hard decisions. Hard decisions. So now, since they're going to do that, I'll just go ahead and kill the knight. There are 2 cards. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Oh man. Oh man. Man, I'm so low. That feels so awful. So my thinking is, if he drops the red, which he's going to, and now he's going to try and put out the Croxa, because he can, and it's what he's got, and it's a win too. He's forcing me to have this counter. And you know what? It kept me from having the counter. I thought I was supposed to take 3, though. That was a crazy little interaction. And we lose. That was an interesting game. So yeah, after the season ended, I got boosted down, but I'm coming up out of the gold. I went all the way down to gold 4. So I'm coming up out of there pretty quickly. Here, I don't actually have packs. I got the pre-order for the Jace bundle because I'm a blue player. It's who I am. Don't hate me for it. It's what it is. I don't feel satisfied. I want to see what else this deck can do. Meat grinder. Alright, so let's see if we can get... Well, we did not get a great 7. Not a huge fan of what this 6 is going to be, but, and I just always put back the highest mana card for the most part. Are you serious? Man, sometimes Arena will just do you like that. And it's not to make any excuses for the deck, because I don't know really how great the deck is. And this is a different experience here. Maybe they're doing the girl deck. Whoa. Whoa. Triple champion is outrageous. I have to give him a nice on that one. So all we're trying to do is opt into this wrath. The headphones are pumping. Let me turn that down a little bit. Are you kidding me? Like, for real? You really gotta be kidding me. Alright, I'll take one more opt on the search. Sometimes I don't like to do this, and I don't know if this is even right, but we need this one particular card so bad. We didn't get it, but maybe we'll get it on the draw step. This is insane, though. Are they coming in for 8? Arena be like that, man. Didn't get it. So, we've seen upsides of Drown in the Lock, and we've certainly seen some downsides of Drown in the Lock. And I guess that's kind of what I was saying from the onset there with this deck, is it does kind of lean on how good Drown in the Lock is going to be. Let me go back in here to the deck. That is absolutely what we're leaning on. It's our main counter spell, really. This type of build, though probably trying to be as mana efficient as possible, is probably still a little greedy for what you're trying to do. Or for what I'm trying to do, rather. And in the games we did well, our opponents were at a major disadvantage. So, really, maybe this deck just sucks. That's possible. That's very possible. I'm no pro, no deck builder. I really want to give it another go, y'all. I really want to give it another go. I want to see a real game that isn't just red, that both of us have a nip-tuck back and forth, and I just get to outplay my opponent. Or I have an opportunity, at least, to outplay my opponent. Alright. We've mulliganed a lot here, too, haven't we? So, we... Yeah, we kind of have to go to 16. At least it's not like Modern, where you take an extra 1. And are you serious, goblins? Alright, we're going to take the Instigator. Wow, man. There's that wrath. So we need more white sources in the mana base, and maybe that's just what it is too, though. It could easily be that. Let them just cast whatever. They're gonna anyway. A deck like Goblins is not gonna respect your counter mana. They're just jamming. I think we really do need to do this just in case one of their big hitters is in there. I guess with the Siege Gang, they literally have nothing. Like the trend of our games where we've been successful. And once again, mostly due to some removal. We've had double Thoughtseize in this game, in a situation that I thought was going to be really awful. Once again, though, we are also really looking for that second white source. There's the Siege Gang Commander. We're frantic and draw a couple here. There's 2 cards in the yard. Double eliminate against them would typically be alright. But that's what we really want. There's our win con. We do not still have 2 open, so I'm not going to drop him yet, though I think we're really ahead. Shark Inspector. Yeah, let's counter that. And then if they have something else, they're going to play it next, and then I'll be able to eliminate it. Oh, they don't. Okay. So now we're just slamming the Scarab God. Okay. I'm gonna take their Siege Gang. Yep. And we're gonna bang in. So maybe we want more hand disruption. We obviously don't want this now. Maybe we want more hand disruption and obviously a few extra white sources to make sure we get in what we can get in. But let's see. Yeah, I want to take a Shane Whirler now. Yeah, this is disgusting. My friend Dave told me I was going to have a whole lot of fun with Scarab God. And I figured, I've heard the stories, I haven't played much with it, I've said it a lot, but man. Yeah, that's what I want to be doing. That's exactly what I want to be doing to close out a game. And it feels really good doing it against the Goblins. So at least we're going out on a good foot here. Let's see. Oh man, these reward cards are so ridiculous. I probably already have 4 copies, and if I don't need them. Like, that's not good. It's not a good card, man. Like, don't give me a wild card or something. Give me an uncommon wild card, even though I have what, like a million. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. This is Nate, been Esper Control. Get to see me enjoying the Scarab God for the first time. That was a great experience. But like, subscribe, share, man, share for me. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace.